Time. Time is the number one challenge that most realtors tell me that they have. Whether it's time on task, do I have enough time to do the lead generation I need while servicing the clients that I have, while closing the transactions, overseeing the closings of the transactions, and still having enough time for my family, friends, personal life. It's time. So many people come to me and ask, how can I get past this hurdle, this hump? So I'm going to give you 3 ways that I often coach, that I often guide other realtors on our team and in our office how to manage time. Most people are going to go straight to, how do I leverage? How do I leverage? How do I get another agent, an assistant, something to that respect? Maybe I'm going to buy another technology, or I'm going to pay for a lead generation service. They go straight to it. I think that's a mistake. The 3 things I'm going to talk about are, first, we need to find out how we can be more efficient with our time, with the time we already have. From there, we need to monetize our time, which will then lead us into the opportunity to leverage our time. Create efficiency so we can monetize, and then we can leverage. Let's start with the efficiency. Right now, I would challenge everybody to consider, what does my average day look like? What time do I start my day, and what time do I end my day? During that time frame, do you have blocked events throughout a calendar? Every day at this time, we're going to be doing these things. The scheduled time I have for taking clients out to see homes, for having listing appointments with clients, are those pre-negotiated for available times, or are you just running around taking any time that your clients throw at you? We want to become so efficient that you're able to fit as much as you can in a schedule between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. And I know for some of you realtors out there, you're saying 8 a.m. That's ridiculous. I don't even get up until 10 a.m. You need to start your day earlier. We need to get more efficient with our time. I've even had some people, they will keep a stop clock at their desk. When they're working and doing working related activities, they start the clock. The minute they get up to do anything else, fill their coffee, use the restroom, make a personal call, they hit the stop clock. And they actually measure how many hours a day they're working. You'd be surprised that the average person who says I work 8, 9, 10 hours a day might only work 3 or 4. So we want to become hypersensitive to that efficiency. Once we've gotten there, we can start to monetize your time. Think about this. Let's say you're the average realtor. You tell me you work 70 hours a week. Well, that's a number I can't do in my head. So let's use the hours of 50. Let's say you work 50 hours a week and you work 50 weeks a year. So you work 2,500 hours a year. I would then take the number that either you earned last year on the top line, that's before you cut with your broker, that's before you pay any expenses, taxes, anything else, top line revenue. Or if you haven't gotten to the place you want to be, put the top line that you expect to make or that you desire to make as your top line number. Divide 2,500 into that number, and you're going to find out your hourly wage. For most realtors, it's going to fall somewhere between $50 and $100 an hour. When you start to get very efficient with your time, you're going to find you can get up to $100 to $300 an hour. At $50 to $300 an hour, you have to ask yourself, if I'm doing administrative work, if I'm doing paperwork filing, data filing, if I'm setting up title work, if I'm setting up or sending paperwork over to a mortgager or a mortgage bank, if I'm doing administrative work in the sense of filing, I'm doing that work at least $50 an hour. As a business owner, that's a dereliction of duty. You can hire somebody for $20 to $30 an hour or more or less, depending on what you're looking to do and depending on what market you're in, so that you can then buy that time back to concentrate your efforts on the skill set you have, which brings in the most amount of money for your business. Does that make sense? Once you've been able to monetize your time, now we can effectively talk about leveraging it. And what does leverage mean? Leverage means that you are hiring people or hiring services, paying for services to do things you otherwise did. I mentioned administrative work. Many successful agents will start their leverage with an executive assistant. This is going to be somebody that can do your administrative work and your transaction coordination work for either an hourly wage or a salary. This could be a part-time employee, it could be a full-time employee. You're going to put everything on their plate that takes you away from actually going out there to meet new people, sign new representation paperwork, take folks to see homes, sell homes, list homes, market homes. They're going to pick up all of that. The moment that you've reached a certain amount of transactions where you're stretched thin and they're stretched thin, your second hire is to break off the executive assistant into strictly executive assistant roles and hire a transaction coordinator. This will also buy back time for you and buy back time, most importantly, for your executive assistant, who will now be focusing their efforts on the marketing plan that are bringing in more people for you to lead generate with, in essence, getting more clients. We can go down this rabbit hole until you've built a giant team. My point is, if you really want to take your business to the next level, if you really are serious about buying time back, you need to be serious about getting efficient with your time, monetizing your time, and then leveraging it. If any of what I just shared with you is interesting, if it's something you'd like to know more about, or you'd like to take a snapshot of your business and apply that theory and those practices to it to see what could you possibly do, contact me. I'd be happy to set up a one-on-one confidential appointment for us to talk, take a look at your business and see where you can buy back more time. You deserve it.